Hi, and welcome to the NBA Economy Show. And today, we just wanted to give you the latest news. And the latest news that is actually breaking news that Thibs' contract has been extended 3 years. So he is inked for the next 4 years. This hasn't really been a surprise. We kind of been expecting it. I don't think there was really any chance where he wasn't going to be re-signed. I think the only thing that was in question was the years and the amount. Um, Tibbs, when he came in, we really thought he was going to be the starter coach, the coach to set the tone, and then another coach come in. We really thought someone would take over. He would get maybe one shot at the title, and that would be it. But he's really proven himself. Uh, some of the bad habits that he had before still persist, but he has shown a lot of growth. He has shown that he can make some changes. Um, we see that one of the biggest factors is Jalen Brunson has been singing his praises. Jalen Brunson, this is his coach, and he has stood behind his coach. He hasn't. Uh, he has not left. He has not left Tibbs' side when it comes to it. We see that actually he has been kind of like been doing a lot of PR. Um, he was showing the personal side of Tibbs, even on his roommate's podcast. It was almost like a PR advocacy. He was debunking a lot of the false narratives in the conversation, uh, even asking, around the team, uh, as as why they don't think other people don't like Tibbs and why he always comes up as the coach they don't want to play for, and this I think has probably solidified him to get a 3 year extension. Um, they're not with the fans is not unanimous. We see what some fans is, don't like those stubborn parts of Thibs, like not trying small lineups. But he has been very prepared for every game. Um, I don't think that this means that he has a whole 4 years where he can just do whatever. I think this is just a contract. Um, I think if he shows that he can't um, make the Eastern Conference Finals, if he doesn't make the finals in the next couple of years, I don't think he'll be around. I think he'll get his money and they'll part ways. But from now on, I think the standard is going to be the Eastern Conference Finals or bust. Certainly, so he's extended to the 27-28 year. Um, the money has not been announced, but in the last few days, they have said that he is going to make north of $10 million. That just means that he's going to be among the upper coaches of the NBA. If he had a record signing, I think they would have said that. I think that's something they would have boasted about. But it's north of $10 million. That doesn't mean it's just $10 million. Um, yeah, if you have any comments on what you think Tibbs' tenure has been like so far, you can definitely put it in the chat. Yeah, he's been here 4 years already, and in the 4 years, he's brought us to the playoffs 3 years. When playoffs isn't something we've experienced since 2012, 2013. So he's definitely exceeded expectations. Um, we see just below, we see his record with the Knicks. His win percentage isn't particularly high just because of the first couple years. He's won NBA Coach of the Year. And his pay is going to be jumping from previously $8 million a year to over 10. So it's nice to be coached nowadays. So that's for Tibbs. We'll probably hear in the coming days of what that number comes in at. That number does not affect the salary cap. Coaches don't figure into the cap. They're just paid by management. It's totally guaranteed. It doesn't make a difference in the Knicks payroll if he gets paid $10 million or $20 million. It's just straight cash from Dolan. Okay. Let me just look at this. So where's that put us with coaches? So Tom Thibodeau is our head coach. We see our assistant coaches, Daniel Brady, Rick Brunson, Darren Ehrman, Andy Greer, Othello Harrington, and they added Mo Cheeks. They haven't announced who's the associate coach, who's going to be his main assistant. Dice Yashimoto, player development. We have a two-way liaison, advanced scout, and player development. So that's where it puts us. Let's see what we've kind of put our status. I updated it so we don't have a lot of red on here, which is good. So he signed his 3-year extension. We added Mo Cheeks to the staff. We lost Johnny Bryant as associate head coach. So Knicks haven't had too many losses this year. Just going to our comments. Picture Timmy. Hey, what's up? And Just Knicks. Thanks for joining. And if you have any questions, definitely put it in the chat. So, I'm really expecting more from Tibbs. I know they've rewarded him. That doesn't mean just do what you're doing. I think they're going to expect him to try new things in this tenure. Okay. So that's not the only news we have today. We were wondering if Rokas Jokubaitis was staying in the NBA. He made an announcement today that he is not staying in the NBA. The Knicks really don't have the spots to play him. He's a kind of a combo guard, more than just a pure point guard. And right now he would, if they brought him on third or fourth, it would be third or fourth string, and that's not a place to be. Rokas, we see he is 6'4". He had 6 years Euro League experience. And we see this summer he had his best summer league. I thought maybe he had a chance of being traded, and going to another team and be able to get playing time. But it was just obvious that here, there just isn't a lot of playing time from here. So maybe he comes back next year, or maybe mid-season if there's a trade. There could be, some reconsideration. Let me see what else from Rokas. He actually had a video from Rokas, and he announces...
Hello, Maccabi fans. Rokas Jokubaitis here. Really happy to announce that I will be joining Maccabi Tel Aviv basketball club for the next season. And I'm really happy and cannot wait to start with the team, to play in front of you guys, who are one of the best fans in Europe. And of course, thanks to coach, bosses, and the whole club for believing in me. So, I'm really happy. I cannot wait to start the season. See you guys.
Okay, so yeah, that was his announcement. So he is definitely headed to Israel. He's not coming to the NBA just yet. All right. So the Knicks, even though he's been to Summer League twice, the Knicks still have his NBA rights, so they could still bring him back to Summer League. They could still sign him. They still can trade him. So actually, next thing I had was Mikal Bridges extension, and Mikal Bridges extension is kind of curious to me, um, because the expectation right now is that he's going to sign this team friendly deal with the Knicks come October 1st. And this team friendly deal, um, it's definitely short of what he would have got paid for any other team. If he went back, if he stayed with the Nets, he would get paid much more than this extension people are talking about on the first, which makes me think that the Knicks definitely talked to Mikal Bridges before they traded for him. Okay, there's no way I would assume that he would sign. He would sign this deal before it came over. All right, and yeah, picks for Timmy. I'll get you your question in just a moment. And actually, with this deal, right now he is well underpaid. This year he will make $23.3 million. Um, and even though this extension is an extension from his current contract, this isn't the one type that kicks in next year. This would kick in on 2026, 2027. So in 2026, 2027, with this extension, he would make 29.88 million. And then the last year, he would make 31.37 million. That's way under like his market value. He should be a $40 million player. I know him and OG, the defense isn't the same, but offensively he gives you more than the OG. And he plays a different position, but he should be a $40 million player. So with the Knicks coming in with the assumption that he's going to sign that, I think definitely on back channels. I don't know if the boys talked amongst themselves, but there is no way they made that trade not knowing that he would sign it, because this would totally derail their plans if they just went in sight unseen. So I mean that's another win for the front office, because it definitely shows that you know they've been putting work uh, in front of or behind the scenes. All right, and so for the next part, Julius Randle. So I'm gonna get to picks for Timmy's question. It says, "What do you think the Knicks? Uh, what do you think the Knicks not extending Randle before the deadline would signify? Do you think the Knicks are willing to max him?" Okay, so maxing him this year and maxing him next year are two different things. This year would be an extension of his current contract. Next year would be a new contract. Um, I don't think the Knicks would give him the amount if he wanted a new contract and a max. It's just not gonna happen. Um, making much as making much as like the Celtics too. Yeah, that's just not gonna happen with the Knicks. It just would shoot us well into the second apron, and pretty much it would just the roster would deteriorate over time. Would they give him the most they can um, in 10 days that they can offer him? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the figure is because it seems like um, it seems that Brock Aller, Leon Rose, they have this they have this payroll figured out. So they have these specific numbers, and I think they're just painting by numbers. Everybody knows what they're gonna get. Um, but this time, when we heard about extension, um, we see that Randall doesn't really want to talk about it to the media. I don't think the Knicks really want him to talk about it either. Um, I think showing other teams that what their plans are isn't helpful. Um, but um, him saying that he doesn't want to really, he's not urgent to sign it at all. So saying that he's not going to sign it the minute it's coming kind of tells us maybe he's waiting for Bridges. I I I just have a hard time with Bridges signing that. And if if um if he signed that deal and then Bridges came in and reconsidered, that could be a mess. So I think maybe he's waiting for Bridges to sign. Maybe he's waiting for a center move. Um, because the Knicks are looking long term. So I know a lot of fans are like, just get the best center available. Sign someone cheap. The but I think the Knicks are looking for someone long term. So when you're looking at someone long term, you have to think about their extension too. So if you're talking about Walker Kessler, you're not thinking about just bringing him the door. You're thinking about what his extension would be in 2 years. If you're bringing in someone else um, who expires this year, what does their extension look like next year? And I don't think he can really sign. I think sign until he sees those numbers. And I think they're going to give him the absolute most they can, um, the absolute most they can at the time. So I don't think they're going to try to shortchange him because he honestly deserves 50 million a year. He honestly deserves it. But I think they're going to make sure he gets every dollar that they can give him. Blorn Tears trading Julius again. Uh, in principle, yeah, we're gonna explore the Bleacher report and see, you know, is it something we would do? These aren't rumors. These are just, kind of mental exercises to think, would this happen? And what Bleacher report, and this is from yesterday. It was a Bleacher report. And let's bring that up. So it was a Julius Randle trade. And I just want to disclaim, I am not advocating for trading Julius Randle. I'm just saying, if this was something, if this was something that the Knicks had to do, or if it was something that Julius wanted, if Julius wanted to make that $50 million a year, I think the Knicks would grant that wish of his and send him somewhere else. Okay, so when Bleacher Report put this up, um, so it's a Julius Randle trade. The Knicks would be sending out more money than they take back. They save about like $3 million. So this is Jabari Smith Jr. This is their very good backup center, Jake Landell. Jeff Green. So Jeff Green, the vet, and a first round 2027 first round pick, top 5 protected. I honestly, if we had to, this trade wouldn't be too far off. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, rather have Sengun. Of course, we'd rather have Sengun if that was the case. But Sengun, I think value wise, his value is higher than Julius Randle's, just on potential. Um, I think with this trade, The only thing I would kind of be concerned with if Jabari Smith is expecting a max rookie extension. That would be the only thing that would kind of make me queasy about this one. But if he doesn't expect a max rookie extension and Julius Randle, demand it out so he can make more money, I don't think it's as bad as I think a lot of people think. I think a lot of people, especially Knicks fans, they say, "Oh, if Julius Randle goes out, I need someone better back." And at this point, I don't think you're going to get something better back, just from where his contract is. He is he's kind of in OG Ananobi's situation. So it's kind of like a hot potato. You're throwing a contract to a team, and then you're expecting them to pay him, and he has the leverage over the team. So that diminishes his value in trade, because if you trade him in this situation, he has power over Houston. Yeah, just let me know in the chat what you think of it. I know a lot of people, um, you know, are negatively going to look at this, but I don't think it's too bad for trading somebody kind of in their contract year. Um, I'm not sure if they would be able to throw in another pick, or not necessarily their pick, but a pick from another team, a low first rounder, and I would be satisfied if that was something that Julius Randle wanted to happen. All right, and the next thing is how long until the Knicks land a center. Um, I think it's a possibility that the Knicks may be waiting a while. Um, I really think Walker Kessler is the guy, and I think with Walker Kessler, you have to see what's going on with marketing. Marketing and Golden State seem to be, um, you know, going back and forth. I think it's maybe tied to marketing. I think um, maybe the Knicks are piggybacking off another trade, and they're gonna wait to see what's going on with marketing. I don't think the Knicks in Utah are going to be trading straight up. I don't think you're gonna see a situation where the Knicks are giving um, Utah a player and a pick or two picks. I think you're going to see two. I think you're going to see three or four teams involved to get Utah what they want, because Utah doesn't really want players, and um, Deuce is probably our best asset. They don't need any more point guards. They don't want any more shooting guards. They just want picks. So I think it'll be a situation where maybe Deuce is going out, and we're turning that into picks, and we're turning that into picks, and maybe he comes back into an exception. Um, Trading camp starts October 3rd. Um, I I I think you'll. I think even there's even other things I would probably factor in is waiting until maybe our rookies are tradable, um, or even some players that we brought in via trade are tradable. Um, Knicks could be looking to flip some of these players, so I don't think the Knicks are are sorting through the bargain bin of free agency. I think they know who their target is, and they're just waiting for other dominoes to fall. But we have plenty of time. It's a long off season. Let me see. Does anybody have any more questions? So yeah, that's basically what I have for the news today. So yes, we have Tom Thibodeau's extension, 3 years, above $10 million. They don't say what the number is. It doesn't affect your salary cap, so that is doesn't matter how much. But I'm pretty sure he's going to be well compensated. Rokas Jokubaitis is going to Israel. He is not coming back to the NBA for now. Um, at the same time, we can bring him back at any time. If in mid-season we make a move and there's space available, maybe that'll change. Mikal Bridges, we took a kind of a look at his extension. His extension isn't very huge. I think it kind of like indicates that they probably talked to Mikal before this, because the assumption that he'll sign something when it'll be way off from his what he's worth. Um, we also took a look at that Bleacher Report idea. I personally think it's not bad if if it's something that Julius Randle really wanted. I don't think in any situation Knicks would be pushing Julius Randle out the door. I think if they are going to trade Julius, it is something mutual. So that is what I have for now. Please like and subscribe. Um, Definitely subscribe. Subscribers definitely do help. I don't have a super chat button, but I do have my cash up there. If anybody wanted to add to the channel, definitely appreciate it. Hopefully soon I'm gonna have some giveaways. There are some Nick items I bought that I probably just give away to some subscribers. Um, Perhaps to get more people looking at the channel. Let me see. I have another comment from Just Knicks. So if he doesn't sign, there are possible options. Interesting. Uh, Jaron Jackson Jr. I think would be perfect. Yeah, I did see the Jaron Jackson Jr. Trade last week. I'm sorry, a couple days ago, and actually, I still have it up here. Let me see. Hold on, let me bring it out. So to those who haven't seen, actually I removed it. But yeah, there was a Jaron Jackson Jr. a proposal from Bleacher Report. Basically, it was I really think Jaron Jackson Jr. would be someone the Knicks would be interested, because um, they have shown interest in the past. They've employed his father in the past, and they kind of did the same thing what they did with Jalen, where they brought his father in before he was extension eligible, and hopefully they were trying to get that done, but he signed his extension with Memphis, and that went out the door. Um, so his father has been in the organization. He is a CAA athlete. His salary is kind of perfect. He plays multiple positions, which I think is huge. So he's in a situation where, uh, at first they put him at power forward, but at the end of the game, or if you wanted a death lineup where you just wanted all defense out there, you could put Jaron Jackson Jr. at center, OJ at power forward, Mikal at three, so on and so forth. So I think that in that way the Knicks would love it. At the same time, the other things that made it interesting is that Jaron Jackson Jr. has been with Memphis for 6 years, and that's a long time. Not not to be able to not go into the finals. Perhaps they want something. Um, Perhaps they want to maximize um, Ja's, um, his prime. Actually, he's before prime. So getting someone like Julius Randle would instantly, offensively, take a lot off Ja. Um, but I'm not sure how long they want to keep that pair together. Even though Jaren Jackson Jr. averaged like 21 and a half points last year, he was forcing it. He was forcing it. He's not a he's not naturally a 21 point player, um, but it was a bunch of G League guys, and he had to take the lead. And he didn't shoot well. He shot like 45% for the season. For a power forward center, that's not great. So I think naturally he would be a good fit here. It's I don't think the Knicks wouldn't do it. I think the question would come from Memphis side, and in that proposal, it had Memphis giving us assets. I think we would probably have to give up assets, just because he is younger. Also, Jaren Jackson Jr. has a Defensive Player of the Year honor. Next. Hey J Boogie, thanks for coming in. Thanks for the good words. Definitely salute. Definitely salute. So that's what I have for today. Definitely like, subscribe, please share, um, and come back again. Also, you'll see me on the Nick of Time show. I'll me be in the chat, or either I'll be on uh, being a co-host if they need me. That's all I have for today, and I hope you guys have a good night. And I'll be on the next time they're Nick News. Night.